I think what we're talking about here is the idea of balance, right? Nothing is inherently good or bad, right? It doesn't mean you can't eat Oreos if you're a healthy person. It doesn't mean you can, you can't, have the fun night out with friends and stay up late, right? But it's about
Mhm.
weighing it and saying, if I do this, then what am I going to miss out on the next day? And then as an adult, you can go, okay, yeah, I can do that, right? Or I don't do that, right? And
Mhm.
so a big part, with this is, I love traveling. And at the same time, for the last 2 years, I said yes to everything on purpose. I was running an experiment where I wanted to go have experiences. I wanted to go meet a bunch of people. And then about May of last year, when Alex and I really buckled down into creating Connect with Cannabis, we made a pact of like, okay, now we're playing chess, right? So now when I'm looking to travel, it's like, okay, what am I looking to get out of this, and is it worth it, right? And again,
Strategic. Yeah.
yeah, strategic, right? Because yes, I want to go everywhere and see everyone, but at the same time, I'm really filled up. My cup gets really filled up of what I'm doing. And so if I'm going to take myself out of the equation and uproot my life for a little while and go to California and hang out with Paul or anything like that, I want to make sure, like, is this going to give me life force or take it away? Because if it takes it away, like if I'm going to a music festival, let's say, right, where I know I'm going to be, hanging out late and partying and doing those kind of things, I want to make sure, like, hey, have I done enough that I can take a week off after, right? And
Mhm.
so when I do work hard and do that, then I give myself that break. And so for anyone listening, it's just about balance, right? Try not to get stuck into the duality of bad and good. Just go, is it worth it, right? Because
Yeah.
this is where core values really come in too, where if you know what your core values are, if you know what you stand for, then you have anchors. And that way you can run your every decision you make through your core values and go, does this line up with my core values? And if it doesn't, ask yourself, is it worth it right now to have this experience if it's going to go against these? And if so, what is the plan to get back in action? Okay, so I'm going to need 3 days after this music festival. I'm going to come home. I'm going to relax super hard. I'm going to make sure that I get 10 hours of sleep every night instead of 8. And then in 3 days, I know my body. I'll be back to normal and I'll be able to keep rocking on the podcast and do my thing. And so that's like some of the most sound advice I ever got from one of my mentors, which was like, hey, man, you don't have to be super strict. You don't also have to be not strict, right? But it's about just realizing what being structured does for your life. And also at the times you can lose a little bit of that structure. Because, like anything, right? Like structure is great up until it's not, right? Balance is great up until it's not, right? So it's about finding kind of if you think about the Tao Te Ching talks about the pendulum swing, right? It's about finding the balance within that, right? Because if you find the balance there, then you're never going to go so high that you have a counterbalance of super low, right? And
Mhm.
technically, you can apply the law of neutrality and hermetic principles and rise above it. And that's one of the things I've been obsessed with recently, with getting way deep into Joe Dispenza again and diving into Gaia and going back into a little hermit rabbit hole, because I know in the summer, like that's our time to shine here in Boston. So I
Mhm.
want to get all my big projects done. So, and a lot of podcasts built up. So then if I want to take a couple days off and go to the vineyard and hang out and just relax, I can do that, right? Because I've earned it, and
Mhm.
it feels so much better when you earn it.